Welcome to another video in the series Learnings from the Newspaper. In this video, I have chosen this article which has the title No Room for Error. This video will talk about how small and very minuscule errors can cause huge losses to organizations. This article was published in the Economic Times. So the article further says, a single spelling mistake can cause a butterfly effect worth millions. A lesson these companies and individuals learned the hard way. So this article has 5 short examples of what errors were made and how those were responsible for losses to the organizations. So first one says missing hyphen. So we all know what a hyphen is. Hyphen is this. In what is probably one of the most unfortunate typos in history, on July 22nd, 1962, NASA launched and destroyed its ambitious rocket Mariner 1 less than 5 minutes into flight. So there was this ambitious rocket launch which got destroyed within 5 minutes of its launch. The rocket exploded, setting back the US government by $80 million. So the cost of that entire project was $80 million. The root cause for the disaster was a lone omitted hyphen somewhere deep in hand transcribed mathematical code. So basically in the code that was written for this launch of this rocket, a hyphen was missed, which was identified as the root cause for this exploded rocket. Reports suggested that a programmer at NASA had left out the symbol while entering a mass of coded information. In his 1968 book, The Promise of Space, Arthur C. Clarke memorialized the typo as the most expensive hyphen in history. So as you can see, at places where it matters the most, even a small hyphen can cause a loss of up to $80 million. That was the story of NASA. Let's move to the next one. It's called Fruit of Labor. In 1872, one misplaced comma is this, cost the US government $2 million. Now this story is from 1872 and the 2 million of that time would now be worth $50 million. The tiny error was made in the US Tariff Act, where instead of making tropical fruit plants exempt from tariffs. So basically what they meant to say is fruit plant are exempted from tariff. The act used the wording fruit comma plants. So instead of this, what happened is that while publishing, they used fruit plant. Now what this means is plants having fruits, and what this means is fruits and plants. So instead of the plants which have fruits being exempted from tariffs, all fruits and all plants were exempted from tariffs. That rogue comma meant that all tropical fruits and plants were free from charge. The government did eventually correct the typo, but until after 2 years of lost revenue. So this is the story of a missed comma. Let's move to the next one. This is on the airlines flying off the handle. In 2006, Italian airline Alitalia accidentally listed business class flights from Toronto to Cyprus at $39 instead of $3,900. So it should have been $3,900, and by mistake they listed $39, ignored the last two zeros. 2,000 quick thinking travelers took advantage of the mistake, booking tickets as fast as they could. When the airline tried to cancel the tickets, they suffered a massive backlash from the customers. Worried about their reputation, Alitalia decided to cut its losses and allowed the budget tickets holders to fly. A move which improved public relations but cost the company $7.2 million. So this two zeros at the end costed them $7.2 million. So we saw the consequences of missing a hyphen, missing a comma, missing zeros. Now let's see the consequences of missing S in the story, the S factor. In 2015, the British government listed family business Taylor and Sons. So this was one of the companies, Taylor and Sons, and this was listed as a company facing liquidation. Liquidation means it is going to collapse and going to be sold off and liquidated. Unfortunately, the business they meant to list was Taylor and Son. So the actual business did not have this S here. Taylor, and it was not Taylor and Sons, it was Taylor and Son, which was going for liquidation, which was an entirely different company. As a result of the mix-up, a 124-year-old thriving company, so basically all the investors thought that the other business, which was actually doing very well, was being liquidated and was not doing well. So the 124-year-old thriving company went bankrupt after its clients backed out of deals. So they said, we don't want to do business with you because you are not doing well. Suppliers cancelled the contracts and creditors withdrew investment. So Taylor and Sons took the British government to court, where it was handed a $11 million compensation bill. So basically for this S, the British government had to pay $11 million. Now let's move to the stock market. So the switch. In 2005, Japanese financial company Mizuho lost $250,000 in less than a day, thanks to an administrative typo. Now, what was the typo? While trying to sell shares of a recruiting agency on the Japanese stock exchange, the bank accidentally listed 610,000 shares of the company at 1 yen each. So it listed 610,000 shares at 1 yen instead of each share costing 610,000 yen. So actually 610,000 was the price. So had it been, let's say, 100,000 shares multiplied by 610,000 as the price. So this would have been a huge amount. As a result, Mizuho lost the equivalent of its entire profit from the previous year in less than a single trading day. So basically they listed each share at 1 yen instead of 610,000 yen. And probably everybody bought it at 1 yen. So they lost a huge amount of fortune in this mistake. So these are some of the examples where small errors can cause huge mistakes and huge losses.